Morning, it's 10:20. I've been going through mail and everything's going crazy since today's Black Friday. You get an email from anybody you've ever bought anything from ever telling you that you need to come and buy stuff because it's on sale. Well, I don't need anything. I don't think I'm buying anything today. So I'll show you what happened yesterday with this paper. I'm kind of walking around in here without shoes on right now, which is probably not a good idea. But that wall is done. It kind of looks a lot like the paint. But it has this really nice texture, like a herringbone pattern, and it's going to look great. Now these walls are textured. You're not really supposed to wallpaper textured walls, so that's kind of why the seams are a little bit more pronounced in there. But this wall is going to have furniture in front of it and some stuff hung on it, so we don't see that being a problem. The door's back on in the bathroom. This wall over here is done, so really everything we can do is done. We're waiting on carpet installers at this point. Meanwhile, he's been busy outside. Bushes trimmed in the front, the lawn's cut again. I just did it when I got here. Was that Friday or Saturday I did it? And it already needed it again. Not terribly, but it looks awesome now. So today is Friday. I'm watching the Charlotte Hornets at Cleveland Cavaliers. My dad's still out in the hot tub. We went out there for about 45 minutes and he's still kicking it. I'm gonna get dinner going. This is part of my filet from last night. Look how freaking thick that is. Yeah, so I'm gonna heat that up. I've got some bread, do some olive oil and pepper. Peanut's doing his thing. I'm gonna have some pretzels. And enjoy the game. We've been working on the E60 all afternoon. We got it all cleaned up, but it's relaxed time now. 100%. We got some tires today. They look absolutely ginormous off the car. These are 285/35 ZR19s, rear Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. They don't make the Super Sport anymore, so there's the 4S for the rear of the E60. Today kind of felt like a Sunday. It was a housework cleanup stuff day. He mowed the lawn this morning. I caught up on yesterday's vlog. I fell asleep last night before I could do that. Watched the Cavs game, figured out a way to stream that. It was Charlotte and Cleveland. They came up with a win by 1 point, but that's all it takes. Keeps the streak alive at 7. And we watched the E60. It was filthy. It hadn't been done in 3 or 4 weeks. You can't see anything out here. I know it's too dark, but cleans up really well still. The wheels were pretty dirty and there was shit all over the hood, but it's cleaned up. We worked on some diagnostics, fixed the signal wasn't working, the housing was loose in there, the halo bulb was really dim, the bulb had popped out, and then the adaptive headlights weren't working. That took some work. I figured out kind of how these things work. They have an igniter in the headlight. The E39 doesn't have an igniter, it's just a ballast and a xenon bulb. So this has a ballast on the bottom. Each headlight has a ballast on the bottom. Each headlight has an adaptive leveling module on the bottom. And then right at the end of the xenon bulb, before the plug from the ballast, is a adaptive headlight module. Reseated everything, put it back together, reset the codes, still didn't work. I was getting a communication disruption error on both the front left and front right headlight. So tried to keep resetting everything and they immediately came back. So I went to the fuses, I checked every fuse that deals with the headlights and they were all fine. So while I was pulling and checking fuses, I disconnected the battery. That took about 30 minutes. We plugged the battery back in, connected the negative terminal, and the codes went away. So I guess something needed to be reset. So they seem to be working. We didn't drive it today, but we've turned off all of the errors. The dash was freaking lit up like a Christmas tree. Nothing was working. So right now, everything's back in working order. Rear tires are shot. You just saw that. They're going to get put on and we'll get an alignment later, but not until we figure out what's going on in the front suspension. I can't get under there and get a look here. I don't have a jack. I don't have stands. This wheel's too big. The car's too low. I cannot see if it's the wishbone, the traction strut, a tie rod, whatever it is. My money goes on traction strut, especially at 84,000 miles. So we've got a friend that has a garage with a lift and he's got a car up in there. They're doing a transmission swap on a GTI or something. So he said he'll let us know when that's done. We'll get it in there, get under it, figure out what's wrong, order some parts, fix that, then go get the tires fitted and have it aligned. So lots of work on the E60, and the biggest order hasn't even shipped yet from ECS Tuning in Ohio. So it's going to be exciting. Some E39 source material is on the way. After that, we hit the hot tub for a little bit. I watched the game, as I said, and then we watched an old James Bond movie, Thunderball, from 1965 with Sean Connery. And now we're going to bed early. It's only around 10 o'clock because tomorrow we're getting up pretty early to head to Cars and Coffee. So tomorrow will be a fun Saturday. Might do some shopping for, there's going to be curtains in the bedroom and some stuff up there since that's almost done. And then we'll see if we can't get a hold of the carpet company. They were closed today. See if we can expedite that install process of the carpet and the master. But that was today. I'll talk to you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. We're going to go to Carlsbad Cars and Coffee, and we'll see if we find anything cool. Okay, good night.